everybody, welcome to this video on a traditional Chinese medicine's doctor's reaction to one of the most popular movie that is trending and is spreading through the world like wildfire. You guessed it, K-pop Demon Hunter. Watching movies will help you relax, therefore it helps you heal. And healing is like tending a garden, and in each video, we water the roots. And for today, I'm going to be watering you with a little bit of spoilers from the movie, but let's dive in. Hi everyone. Okay, so very interesting. On the table, you can see a sculpture of the hand. We have a lot of acupressure points on our hand that actually helps with alleviating any discomfort. Generally, the acupressure points on our hands and feet are the most sensitive and the strongest. So let's continue on. Ooh, lovely. On the wall, we can literally see posters of acupressure points of the body. So we see one of the palm and then literally the whole human body. And it even has the measurements or the proportions drawn out. Let's continue.
Let me see.
Pretty cool. So when the doctor says, hey, let me see, I love how Rumi just went and opened up her mouth. But generally, what we also ask our patients to do is to stick out the tongue. So we also have tongue diagnosis. And what this doctor is doing, in traditional Chinese medicine, this is called 视诊, which is the 4 diagnostic arts. So think of it like it's a checkup.
In order to heal a part, we must understand the whole.
Oh, wow. So that is beautifully said. So in order to understand a part, you need to understand the whole. And this is actually from 黄帝内经. When my patient comes in, I always check their 5 systems. Which one is out of balance, which one is overworking, which one is underperforming, because they're all linked to one another in its most amazing way. So this is what I love about traditional Chinese medicine is we treat your body as a whole. So it's not like a cell phone. Let's say one part of your cell phone, for example, the camera lens is broken. You can easily just replace the camera lens. However, because humans, we are organic beings. So you really can't, let's say, remove the liver and just expect everything to be going normally. From a traditional Chinese medicine perspective, it doesn't work that way. So we're very mindful of removal of any part of our body. So let's continue. Okay, so the eye popping thing is totally exaggerated, but understandable. This is animation. But yes, so part of the 4 diagnostic arts, the very first one is observation. So we're literally going to look at your face, so the color, the complexion, different parts of your face, because different parts corresponds with different organs. So even if you're growing pimples on certain areas, for example, I'm currently growing pimples on my nose and then under my chin, and then that nose area is often linked to digestive issue, chin area, hormonal issues. So literally, you are a walking map of your current health status. So to people who really know how to read faces, you're like an open book. Let's continue.
Focusing on one part leads to ignoring other parts, making you separated, isolated.
So this is very interesting. This is absolutely true. So when people tend to focus too much on the one part, you tend to ignore the other aspects, especially with so many of my patients coming in with a lot of liver tree stagnation. And it's generally because they're so focused on their financial wealth. And this brings me to a phenomenal book called The 5 Types of Wealth by Sahil Bloom. I absolutely implore you to start reading the book. You'll get so much from it. What are the 5 types of wealth mentioned by the author? The first one is time wealth. Then we have social wealth, mental wealth, physical wealth, and then also financial wealth. As a traditional Chinese doctor, I'm very focused on the mental and physical wealth. So again, like the 5 systems of our body, they cannot be separated in any ways because they are directly influencing and affecting one another. So you're only focusing on one, you have another 4 to look after. In the end, eventually, they'll start crumbling by themselves. So I have had patients who are so focused on financial wealth that their willpower is absolutely tremendous. So he has high blood pressure, a lot of discomfort. But when it comes to money, making money, oh my gosh, he's absolutely obsessed. So again, in traditional Chinese medicine, we say that your emotion is also equally linked to our 5 organs. What kept him going was money. So that was very interesting. And then the only thing that could help him, regular acupuncture and then tonics to help with keeping up with his current lifestyle. So I think that's one of the lovely things about traditional Chinese medicine, is that we're always helping our patients to improve the quality of life. We can also help you maintain it at a more holistic level. However, I think that the end goal for me as a traditional Chinese doctor is to see less of you. Let's continue.
She's also a workaholic, doesn't know how to relax.
So with Rumi's symptoms, she's not able to relax. They're unable to shut down their thoughts. So that also leads to chronic digestive issues, because in traditional Chinese medicine, our spleen is closely linked to thoughts. So because of our 5 system, if you overwork your spleen, it will affect the heart, so your circulatory system. And then why? Because our spleen in traditional Chinese medicine, it is the element earth. And then in order to nourish earth, you need to have fire. So you see how when you keep using up your earth element, your fire cannot keep up. So you're actually depleting the fire very quickly, which leads to insomnia, anxiety, and then overthinking, unable to rest. So this will eventually lead to burnout. But let's continue with this amazing movie.
I bet she refuses to go to the bathhouse with you.
Oh my gosh, yes!
Speaking of bathhouse, bathhouses are amazing. Why? Because it's very warm. And in traditional Chinese medicine, we always want to keep our qi and blood, the circulation going, so that it can unblock any stagnations of our body. And then obviously it also helps to relax. So everything that we saw, the doctor was a little bit too creepy. Like nobody would feel comfortable with a doctor going literally right up into your face. Kind of like an invasion of privacy. But anyways, so the doctor, he did use one of the 4 diagnostic methods. However, there are another 3. What are the other 3s? After observation, we will start with the questions. So we're generally asked, so what are you coming in here for? What is your main concern? And then the patients will tell you, recently I've been having insomnia, poor quality of sleep, etc., whatever it is. And then which comes to the next point would be 闻法, is translated to is listening and smelling. If it smells bad, for example, rotten apple, it is a common symptom of diabetes. So these gives us clues to what's going on in your body. If someone comes in and speaks very softly, very weak, obviously this patient would have lung qi deficiency. And then lastly, which is I think the most hardest to learn in traditional Chinese medicine, and then that is the 确诊, which is the post-diagnosis, which is touch or palpitation. So what we do for this is we literally take the pulse of your radial artery, because from the radial artery, we are able to directly do a full scan of how your 5 system is working. So from the post-diagnosis, you're able to really tell, is this caused by deficiency? Is it caused by hyperperformance? And has it been chronic or is it acute? This can all be felt through palpitation, so the post-diagnosis. But in the movie, I think them doing the observation is already plenty. Overall, oh my gosh, that movie was absolutely fantastic. All the songs were super catchy. As a traditional Chinese medicine doctor, this movie really has my stamp of approval. And what was very funny was about the tonic. The tonic was hilarious, turned out to be grape juice. And stay tuned for the next video on me seeing Rumi as a patient myself. And thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed this video, and check out the movie. It's phenomenal. It's amazing, and it's absolutely addictive. Currently, me going through work every single day now, I have all their songs on repeat, living rent-free in my mind. You can always become better, and there's nothing to be ashamed of with whatever pattern that your body shows. I'm saying liver qi stagnation pattern, spleen deficiency pattern. You get it? So everybody, head over to your local traditional Chinese medicine doctor, show us what's underneath, and let us help you find your harmony. So I wish you all good health. Good health is the ultimate fortune and the only investment with endless return. And when do we start investing? Right now.